Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen, Anderson, Bates, Bell, Fairhill, Block, Canella, De Leon, Fuller, Gaines, Galgiani, Glazer, Hall, Hancock, Hernandez, Hertzberg, Hill, Hueso, Huff, Jackson, Lada, Leno, Leyva, Liu, McGuire, Mendoza, Mitchell, Monning, Morlock, Morrell, Wynn, Nilsson, Pan, Pavley, Roth, Runner, Stone, Vidak, Wykowski, Wolk.
Good afternoon, colleagues. A quorum is present. Would the members and our guests beyond the rail and in the gallery please rise? We'll be led in prayer this afternoon by our chaplain, Sister Michelle Gorman, after which please remain standing. We will be led in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag by Senator Hernandez.
Let us center ourselves in God's presence. The poet Gwendolyn Brooks has said, "We are each other's harvest. We are each other's business. We are each other's magnitude and bond." Loving God, Holy Mystery, we thank you for the energy that drives us toward creativity and wholeness. May our hearts be ever more hopeful as we continue to create that beloved community where all can enjoy the thrill of forging life and love on our precious earth habitat. We ask this in your name. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty. Colleagues will begin with privileges of the floor. Senator Monning.
Thank you, Madam Chair and members. It's indeed my honor. You'll see that we have the flag of Germany flying at the front of Chambers today, and it's my honor to present our distinguished visitors who are assembling here at the back of Chambers. It's my privilege to introduce a delegation of 7 members of the Berlin State House of Representatives. The group is led by the Honorable Florian Graf, caucus leader of the Christian Democratic Union Party. He's joined by his colleagues, the Honorable Karin Halsch of the Social Democratic Party, the Honorable Anja Kopek, caucus leader of the Green Party, the Honorable Irene Kone of the Social Democratic Party, the Honorable Sven Riesman, party whip of the Christian Democratic Union, the Honorable Karsten Schatz of the Left Party, and the Honorable Alexander Spies, caucus leader of the Pirates Party. The delegation's visit is part of an ongoing exchange program between the Checkpoint Charlie Foundation and the California International Relations Foundation and the California State Senate. Founded in 1994, the Checkpoint Charlie Foundation was created by the Berlin State House of Representatives to foster German-American relations with special consideration for the role that the U.S. played in Berlin between the years of 1945 and 1994. Like the United States, Germany has a federal constitution that allows their states to retain sovereignty. Berlin, along with Hamburg and Bremen, are known as city-states, while the other 13 are similar to ours. California and Berlin share much in common, including economies that feature thriving technology and service sectors. Accordingly, the delegation's visit will allow us to share best practices on a number of different issues. The delegation's main interests are clean energy and the environment, Organization of Public Transportation and Urban Technologies. The delegation will focus on California's leading efforts to develop alternative and renewable energy sources and new approaches to energy conservation. While Berlin has an excellent public transportation system, they are interested in learning about ways to make the systems more user-friendly through technologies such as ticketless systems and intermodal ticketing. Finally, the delegation would like to study smart city innovations to connect citizens to its government and its services, such as San Francisco's effective 311 program. In order to accomplish its goals, the delegation will have meetings with members of the public and private sectors in Sacramento, San Jose, and San Francisco. Members, please join me in wishing the delegation a successful visit and extending a warm Senate welcome to our visitors from Berlin. And I hope some of you will come back and introduce yourselves. I also want to extend the invitation. The delegation will be hosted tonight for dinner at the Stanford Mansion. If any of you are able to join, please let Isilda or Shannon know, and you will join this esteemed delegation from Germany. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and welcome to the California State Senate. Messages from the, are there any additional privileges of the floor? Privileges of the floor? Seeing none. Messages from the governor will be deemed read. Messages from the assembly will be deemed read. Reports of committee will be deemed read and amendments adopted. Motions, resolutions, and notices. The following items are referred to the Rules Committee. Item 18, Assembly Bill 364, pursuant to Rule 29.10 of the Senate rules. Pursuant to Senate Rule, again, 29.10, the following bills are referred to the Rules Committee. Item 16, AB 1513, and file item 196, Senate Bill 225. Senator Berryhill, for what purpose do you rise?
Motions and resolutions, Madam President.
Please proceed.
Yeah, at the request of the author, please remove file item 21, AB 453, from the inactive file.
Thank you, sir. The desk will note. Senator Bates.
Oh, yes.
For what purpose do you rise?
Under motions and resolutions, Madam Chair. At the request of the author, I request that AB 679, item 336 be moved to the inactive file.
The desk will note. Senator Monning, for what purpose do you rise?
Thank you. Madam Chair, I'd like to request removal of AB 999 daily, item number 433, from the special consent calendar.
Thank you, sir. The desk will note.
And also would like to request unanimous consent to take up out of order SB 657 without reference to file.
Is there any objection? No objection. Thank you. Mr. Secretary, that's Senate Bill 657. We're taking it up out of order. Mr. Secretary, please read
Senate
for
Bill,
the third time.
Senate Bill 657 by Senator Monning, an act relating to electricity and declaring the urge thereof to take effect immediately.
Senator Monning.
Thank you, Madam Chair and members. Senate Bill 657 requires the California Public Utilities Commission to convene an independent peer review panel to conduct an independent review of enhanced seismic studies and surveys of the Diablo Canyon Nuclear Power Plant until August 26, 2025. Urgency in the bill is needed because the panel's contract is set to expire on November 30th, 2015, even though it has not completed reviews of seismic studies on the plant. SB 657 is a responsible state action to ensure independent peer review of the Diablo Canyon Power Plant to enhance the seismic safety on the plant and to protect the public safety. Members, I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Is there any discussion or debate on the measure? Any discussion or debate? Seeing none, Mr. Secretary, please call the roll.
Allen. Anderson. Bates. I. Bell. I. Berryhill. Block. I. Canella. I. De Leon. I. Fuller. I. Gaines. I. Galgiani. I. Glazer. I. Hall. I. Hancock. Hernandez. I. Hertzberg. I. Hill. I. Wesso. I. Huff. Jackson. I. Lada. I. Leno. I. Leva. I. Liu. I. McGuire. I. Mendoza. I. Mitchell.
Aye.
I. Monning. I. Morlock. Morrell. I. Wynn. I. Nilsson. I. Pan. I. Pavley. I. Roth. I. Runner. I. Stone. I. Vidak. I. Wykowski. I. Wolk. Wolk, aye.
Call
Anderson,
the
aye.
absent members, please.
Allen. I. Berryhill. I. Hancock. Huff. Morlock. Aye.
Ayes 38, no 0 on the urgency. Ayes 38, no 0. The measure passes. Senator Monning.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Would like to request immediate transmittal to the Assembly.
The
Thank
desk
you,
will
members.
note. Thank you. Colleagues, under motions, resolutions, and notices, we'll move on to consideration of the daily file, second reading, items 1 through 187. Mr. Secretary, please read.
Senate Constitutional Amendment 8, Senate Bill 150, 448, 423 with amendments, Assembly Bill 1542.
They'll be deemed read. Governor's appointments. Mr. Pro Tem, would you like to do governor's appointments or would you like to come back later? We'll pass. Yes, sir. Moving on to unfinished business, colleagues. We'll begin with file item 194. Before we begin with that file item, let me inform you all that many of the items on the unfinished business file are on proposed special consent. However, several items were not eligible, and we will proceed to those items if there is no objection. Seeing none, file item 194, Senate Bill 464. Mr. Secretary, please read.
Senate Bill 464 by Senator Hernandez, an act relating to healing arts.
Senator Hernandez.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members, this bill will expand access to hormonal contraception by permitting the use of a mobile app to connect patients with healthcare providers. Amendments taking the Assembly authorized prescribers to accept patient-reported information like weight, high blood pressure through those mobile apps. I respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Any discussion or debate on this measure? Any discussion or debate? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Allen. I. Anderson. Bates. Bell. I. Berryhill. Block. I. Canella. I. De Leon. I. Fuller. Gaines. I. Galgiani. I. Glazer. I. Hall. I. Hancock. Hernandez. I. Hertzberg. I. Hill. I. Wesso. I. Huff. Jackson. I. Lada. I. Leno. I. Leva. I. Liu. I. McGuire. I. Mendoza. I. Mitchell.
Aye.
I. Monning. I. Morlock. Morrell. Wynn. Nilsson. Pan. Nilsson, no. Pan, aye. Pavley. Aye. Roth. Aye. Runner. Aye. Stone. Aye. Vidak. Aye. Wykowski. Aye. Wolk. Wolk, aye. Anderson, no.
Call the absent members, please.
Bates. Berryhill. Fuller. Hancock. Huff. Morlock. No. Morrell. No. Wynn. Runner, aye to no.
Ayes 25, noes 5. Ayes 29, noes 5. The Assembly amendments are concurred in. Moving on to file item 195, Senate Bill 219. Senator Liu? Pass. File item 198, Senate Bill 236. Senator Bell? Pass. File item 199, Senate Bill 287. Senator Hueso is not at his desk. File item 200, Senate Bill 355. Senator Lara? Pass. File item 201, Senate Bill 358. Mr. Secretary, please read.
Senate Bill 358 by Senator Jackson, an act relating to private employment.
Senator Jackson.
Madam President and colleagues, Senate Bill 358 is back on concurrence on our floor. This bill will revise the California Equal Pay Act. The amendments taken in the Assembly are technical in nature. California has prohibited gender bias in this state since 1949. But because of loopholes that have existed in this law, women continue to be paid less based upon gender. Indeed, women make 84 cents to every dollar in this state, and women of color do far worse. African American women make 64 cents to every dollar, Latinas 44 cents to every dollar. This bill will help close those loopholes in order to eliminate the wage gap and protect workers who actually want to inquire about the wages they're being paid relative to their colleagues. It will prohibit retaliation for them doing so. This bill has enjoyed broad-based support from labor, equal rights groups, the business community, including the California Chamber of Commerce, as well as strong bipartisan support in this House and in the Assembly. Members, it has taken decades of hard work to get to this point today when we are finally going to close the pay gap between men and women. We stand on the shoulders of the women soldiers who have been fighting this battle for decades. I am personally thrilled to be on this floor today, gray hair and all, because I have been battling this issue for at least the last 35 years. And I want to thank those women who've come before me. I want to thank all of you who are here today. This is such an important issue in a society where women work not for the pin money of the old days, but because they are, in so many instances, either the primary support of their families or they are a critical economic support of their families. Women today, because of the inequality in our pay, leave $33.6 billion annually on the table, which would otherwise go to provide food and shelter and clothing for their families, money that would otherwise go into the economy. This bill is long overdue, but here we are today with a chance to make history. This bill will be the template for other states to follow. This bill will say we are no longer going to differentiate in what we pay people based upon their gender. This bill is for our mothers. our daughters, our sisters, and for all of those in California who believe that we all should have a chance to strive for the American dream, be paid and honored appropriately for the work we do. And on that, I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Senator Leyva.
Thank you, Madam President. I just want to thank the author, Senator Jackson, for her unrelentless support on this issue. Many of you have heard me say, and I'll say it again, I am amazed that in 2015 this is still an issue. As the mother of 23-year-old twin girls, when they were born, I had no idea that 2 decades into their life, we would still be working on this. So I thank you, Senator Jackson, Senator Hall. I know you're a co-author as well as all the other authors on this bill. This is an exciting day moving forward. This is a bill about women's rights, but it helps everybody. Anyone who is married. This helps my husband. If I make as much money as him, then that helps our family. So this isn't just about women. This is about our communities, and this is about our families. So thank you, Senator Jackson, and I look forward to voting yes and moving us forward.
Any further discussion or debate? Senator Stone.
Thank you, Madam President. Members, I also want to applaud the senator from Santa Barbara for championing this issue for many, many years. It is hard to believe that in 2015 we would even be debating this issue. And I'm hoping that this is a unanimous vote in the Senate today. As a father of a beautiful daughter, just passed the bar, of a grandfather of a 2.5-year-old little girl, I stand with you and try to ensure a better future, especially for a lot of single moms that are in the state of California that are receiving pay that is not commensurate with their skill sets, but rather with their gender. We need to stand up, and I hope that we'll set an example that our Senate staffs is where we've got to begin, because there is pay inequality that exists within this building. And it's a good place to start, Senator, in making sure that women are paid for the commensurate with the skill sets that they have. I strongly urge an aye vote.
Senator Anderson.
Senators, the best template to follow won't be this bill, but rather how the Senate treats its own staff. You know, sadly, it was reported in the SAC-B that women in the Senate get paid 94 cents on the dollar. And more sadly, women in the Assembly get paid 92 cents on the dollar. We should be leading by example. Before we start shaking our fingers at those outside the dome, we should be looking inside and calling out those members who choose to underpay their staff. We should be the shining example. We shouldn't be looking to put pressure on others to make them the shining example. It's very, very disappointing that in this day and age, that under this leadership, women still go challenged with a gender gap. I'd urge you all to pay the women working for you equally to men. I urge an aye vote.
Any other discussion or debate? Seeing none, Senator Jackson, please close.
Thank you. It's now going to take the commitment of employers and culture change. But our laws play an important and vital role in initiating that change. This bell rings the bell, signaling the time for significant change to once and for all close the wage gap and pay women equally for the work that we do. With that, I respectfully ask for your aye vote.
Please call the roll.
Allen. Aye. Anderson. Bates. Aye. Bell. Aye. Berryhill. Aye. Block. Aye. Canella. Aye. De Leon. Fuller. Aye. Gaines. Aye. Galgiani. Aye. Glazer. Aye. Hall. Aye. Hancock. Hernandez. Aye. Hertzberg. Aye. Hill. Hueso. Aye. Huff. Aye. Jackson. Aye. Lada. Aye. Leno. Aye. Leyva. Aye. Liu. Aye. McGuire. Aye. Mendoza. Aye. Mitchell. Aye. Monning. Aye. Morlock. Aye. Morrell. Wynn. Aye. Nilsson. Aye. Pan. Aye. Pavley. Aye. Roth. Aye. Runner. Aye. Stone. I. Vidak. I. Wykowski. I. Wolk. Wolk, aye. Anderson. I. De Leon. Hancock. Hill. I. Morrell. I.
Absent members, please.
De Leon. I. Hancock.
Ayes 39, no 0. The Assembly amendments are concurred in. Colleagues, we're going to return to file item 199, Senate Bill 287. Mr. Secretary, please read.